There we go, finally got all the technical difficulties sorted, and just in time because we are here for round 2 of the SLR Championship here at the Hungaroring in where else, Hungary. I'm your host Lars, and beside me is the lovely and no more technical difficulties, Bob. Take over while I sort stuff.
Are still trying to fix all of those, get the best experience. SLR, this is the second round of the championship in Tier 2 that is open every Wednesday weekly. And after the first round of the championship, the leader is still, of course, Nico, who has won the first race of the season in Australia and jumps into Hungary in hopes to lead as the championship leader as well. The Alpine driver 25 points. Behind him is Lepson in a Williams, second place in Australia, and Burla, who stepped to the last part of the podium in the first race of the season, who is driving for also Alpine, which of course gives us the pretty heavy lead for the French team in the Constructors' Championship, 37 points for them. Williams are on the hunt with 15, and V-Carb right in the back of their tails with 10 points behind them. So it's of course too early to call the shots for any championship contenders, but if Nico, Lepson, or Gurla will take top 3 today, this will definitely put them into a...
There we go, sorry. Apologies for that, folks. First time, you know, when you get new setups is always a bit tricky. But I believe on screen now we have all those standings that my co-commentator there, Punk, was so brilliantly talking about. Remember to take a breath, Punk, because I don't think you did there in that one thing. But yes, you can see the stats on screen there. Our driver standings, of course, not too big a gap at the minute because there's only been one round. But interesting to see those initial skirmishes. Alpine double points clear of Williams at the minute, but of course it's early days, anything can happen. And of course the track we're on, Hungary, you can see some stats on the right there. Full throttle for at least half of the track. Some drivers will obviously try and go a bit harder than that. This isn't real life, this is the F1 game, so you can do some more crazy stuff. Longest fly-out section is just under 1 kilometre. That'll be the long back straight down to the start-finish line. It's a very high downforce track despite being so fast, though. It's part of the reason why a lot of drivers love/hate this track is it can be very picky on the car. Fuel use per lap is roughly 1.5 kilograms, and your time penalty, you're losing roughly a tenth a lap per kilogram of fuel, and your pit lane time loss roughly 20 seconds. Sounds like a random statistic, but it will be very important come the pit stop strategies and if there is a safety car, as we saw last time out in Australia. And with that, I think we can switch to live race. Apologies if the pause menu comes up. I am a poor one monitor scrub. I can't alternate between them without the pause menu popping up. But I believe my co-commentator will confirm for me that we have footage on screen. Is that correct?
Absolutely, we are perfectly fine with
heck yes. And we'll just get the track map up for you. And most drivers have already completed their outlaps by the time we join them, so we are diving right into the action. Straight away we have a time up on the board. It's Ocean Chief in the Aston Martin with a 1:15.8 setting the benchmark.
It's a good lap from an Aston Martin. Now we wait for the challengers to show what they've got for us in stocks. Who's going to be fighting for pole position here today, and who's going to be satisfied with their position in the midfield, as the drivers are rounding up second sectors and they're about to hit the finish line. Here comes a Ferrari driver.
That is Antabulus.
Second place, 116.
Or Antabulus, sorry, I should say. The problem, of course, is having not seen who went out first, we're trying to figure out what order they're going in. Wesley crossed the line with a 1:16.6, and Smelto in the McLaren is now on pole. Provisional pole, I should say, with a 15.2. More drivers coming to the line now. I think we'll wait until these initial laps calm down. John Wick, could it be the real John Wick? On the mediums, no less, with a 16.2. That's not bad at all. Ever Snaxalotl takes second in the Haas. We've got an I was about to say an Alpha Tauri coming to the line. But that is just starting a lap. Who else is coming to the line now? We've had Mercedes cross. Magnetic has crossed line. He's now in P5 as Gurla goes up to P2. We have another McLaren crossing the line. That'll be Tilda, who goes to third. We're starting to get a bit clearer now. This is one of the Red Bulls coming around. That will be Futuristic. Or sorry, not Red Bulls, V-Carbs. Do you know what? Does anyone mind if I call them Toro Rossos? It's basically what they are.
I don't think anyone will.
I'm probably going to call them Toro Rosso. Futuristic taking provisional second place. I'll tell you what the problem is. Even if I know which car is coming to the line, is Nikau.
14.86.
Yep.
Prix, the championship leader, putting the foot down and demanding a challenge from everybody else, raising the stakes high. Can anybody live up to the challenge? We'll see in about 12 minutes to go.
I'll tell you what, if F1 is listening out there, could they maybe please make us have less blue cars? It's really hard to tell who's who on the map, and try and flick to them. We have a... that's... hold on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Williams engineers will be listening to this live stream and will be like, you know what?
You never know. You never know. I mean, Max, you know, he loves his online racing. Maybe he's just hopping through YouTube and Twitch while he's waiting, you know.
Sure
you
Max
never
is
know.
Busy racing 3 different series at the time. He doesn't have much time to watch the racing going on.
He has time for Penelope.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's racing every single series. It's incredible. So let's get back into Hungary. We still got a couple of drivers who didn't complete their first hot lap. Crowley Voice just invalidated his one. Our gamer is on the run though. He's currently wrapping up the second sector of his first quick lap here in the European track, and we'll see what good can he provide for himself. Nico is still so far unbothered on the provisional pole position with Smelto right behind him, but the gap is significant. Nico is definitely a strong contender this season as he's trying to prove it, but Gamer rounding up the final sector, looking to put a good time on the board. Actually,
John Wick, sorry, real quick. I want to mention, this is one to watch. He's the only driver who's taken his first couple of runs on the medium compound tyre, and he's improved his time there. He's up to P7 on a one, so he's broken into the 115s. He's 8/10 off pole, which sounds like a lot, but when you consider he's on the harder compound of tyre compared to the front runners, you suddenly wonder, is this a dark horse to watch for? Is John Wick.
The delta lap on those mediums might be threatening some guys who are currently beneath him, because if that's the time he can put on the mediums, then the time on softs could be way better than that.
True.
Then again, it's only 11 minutes remaining, and he's still on the mediums on the track, so he's gonna have to focus, get some good laps and softs done. As we know, it's not that easy in Hungary. A lot of room for error, just like the one John Wick was about to make, but he just caught his car in the nick of time. Still a couple of drivers who didn't set their lap times. Lepson, who is currently on outlap. Versch, I have no idea how to pronounce that.
Versch, I would say. I think it's German. Versch.
Right. Versch, let's try to stick with that, who is rounding up second sector. He might put a time on the board, and it's a purple second sector. Now, unless that's a game glitch, which happens often, we might be looking at the new possible front row contender.
I think the second sector glitch has been in this game for about 3 to 4 years now.
Yeah,
can I just interrupt and ask real quick? I want to apologize for last week. We didn't really interact with chat too much. Now, to be fair, it was a very hodgepodge of a stream. I was away on holiday, so I didn't know, and I was first time commentating for SLR.
Yeah,
so
that wasn't a glitch.
No.
Look at this.
Sorry, I'm on the one monitor, so I can't really alt tab. So Punk, can I get you to be in charge of chat and just keep an eye on what people are asking?
That's my job, and doing it for quite a while. I got this on my eyesight. Same way I have Versch on my eyesight, because he just put the provisional pole time with 1:14.755, and so far untouched. Nico gets dethroned while Lepson jumps into P3. So we have great battle for provisional pole position coming up in the next following minutes. We have, look at the gaps between.
I've got the gaps up here. We've got the top 9 are within 1 second of each other.
Yeah.
The whole down to 15th are covered within 2 seconds. We've got 2 outliers at the minute are VertG, if I'm saying that right, and AR Gamer. I don't think those are representative lap times for them, so the field looking fairly close, all things considered. Just trying to see who else. Just watching Eversnacks at all. He's improved by 3.5 tenths in the second sector. So I'm just going to stick on with him for a little bit. We also have, there's a Mercedes coming to the line, and that is John Wick. No, that wasn't John Wick, apologies.
That was Gamer, but he's just starting his quick lap.
He's starting his lap, and Snacksall goes to P5. So I told you he was one to watch. We've got, who's this coming around the final bend? We've got a Mercedes. So that should
gotta keep an eye on our Gamer. I mean, anybody who watches
should...
SLR for a while, they know that this guy can put a lot more than what he has done so far in this session. So he's on a hot lap right now. He might challenge for the top spot like he usually does.
Fantabulous
So
completing a
let's
lap,
see.
so too is Futuristic. Futuristic 7/10ths down that lap. I assume that was just a sort of secondary installation lap.
Smelto
for
goes
himself.
second, just right above Nyko, so it's McLaren dethroning and pushing down Alpine to the second row on the Grand Prix qualifying so far. And game with a mistake, that's going to cost him a lap again, 8 minutes to go.
Infernoco and the Ferrari up to P11 there. We've got a Haas coming round. That should be Crawley Voice starting his lap. In fact, you know what? We'll go on board with him for this lap.
Yeah, I mean,
So down into turn 1,
DRS.
heavy braking zone. You want to touch the curb on the inside, but don't ride it too high. It can spin you out, especially since they've reworked the curbs. Be careful of your braking down into turn 2. Because it's downhill, it's very easy to lock a wheel or snatch a brake and actually go wide there. Don't run too wide on the exit of 3 because you will get invalidated. And then the tricky turn up the hill here. Clip the inside curb, don't run wide on exit. It's felt the best of men. Watch this curb on the inside. It's a guarantee to spin if you touch it. And then up to the chicane, bump over the outer part, but don't touch the sausage curb on the inside as we just saw the Haas do. It will unsettle the car. And then this long second section of left, right. Being smooth is how you're quick through here. Don't overdrive the car through that sector. Hard braking zone to the right hander at the start of sector 3. And then a short acceleration down to this long hairpin. Again, don't touch the inside curb and try to run it out as wide as you can. Stay tight for the final corner. A lot of drivers like to think they need to run it out wide, but you don't run it out wide until the very end. Floor the throttle down to the line, and Crawley does a 1:15.14, and that's good enough for P6.
Yeah, Nyko jumps right back into provisional pole position with 1:14.5, so that is a definitely incredibly good time from the Alpine driver. Now we're looking at the boys right behind him as the Red Bull driver is on his outlap as we speak. The rest of the boys are either in the garage or coming back into it. Of course, we're still waiting for some decent time from our gamer who couldn't deliver the time with his pace. We know it's strong, but he just can't deliver so far. He's just beginning. No, he's not beginning his hot lap.
And Lepson is beginning a lap as well, so we'll watch these ones because they were fighting at the front last time out. Let's see what they can do now. Lepson P5, half a second off of pole at the minute. He's got to find a lot of time.
It says that the co-commentator has some strange concert/echo filters. PD says in the chat.
I apologise if I do. I'll check my settings after qualifying because I don't want to interrupt the stream.
Maybe it's my microphone, I don't know.
Oh, is it my mic or your mic that they're talking?
It says co-commentator, but I'm not sure who's the alpha male in this relationship, so no idea.
Who's the husband, who's the wife? It could be my mic. I am just on the basic headset mic, I must be honest. I am looking into getting a proper desktop mic setup, so there might be some feedback or echo. Although I haven't had complaints about it before, so if it is mine, I'll check my settings.
The game sounds fine though, so that's a good news.
In case Lepson aborts his lap.
Yeah, must have been not improving heavily enough to try to risk it. So 5 minutes left to go.
As Verge goes to pole.
Ooh, great lap time from the Red Bull, and that is a wonderful battle for pole position we have so far going on. As Red Bull clangs back up into the front row, Nyko dethroned down to P2, and now realistically about 5 drivers are still in the battle for pole position, 6 to be honest. So this might be incredibly interesting qualifying session here in Hungary.
Gerla is starting their next run. Just coming around the final corner now. In case you're wondering who's who, by the way, just to make sure, just for whoever's asking about the mic there. The one talking right now is Lars, the other one is CM Punk. So let us know whichever one is having mic problems.
It's my mic definitely, but I don't know why.
I mean, you sound fine on Discord. Are you recording? Is it picking up Discord and? I'm not too sure. Maybe it's.
Give me a second though.
That's okay. We're just watching Gerla on board here. Purple Sector 1, a 10th up on their previous best. And
yeah, my mic sounds fine on Discord. This might be some kind of streaming.
Possibly.
I don't know. I'm not sure because Discord sounds fine, so this must be some kind of streaming issue. We're gonna try to figure it out.
Okay, we'll just keep an eye. We've only got 2 cars on track at the minute anyway. They're setting times. Others are coming out for their final runs. Well, I assume to be their final runs already, which is quite early. And the track will evolve. Now, Gerla coming round to the final hairpin into the final corner. Is it good enough for pole? It was not a purple sector 2, but it was a personal best. And to the line, it is only good enough for second. 0.04 of a second off of Verch's time. Great effort by Gerla, but not quite enough. As a Williams exits the pit lane, that'll be Lepson. Yep, Lepson's on his outlap. He's preparing for his final run. Smelto on his final run. Nikau is still in the pits. Verch still in the pits as well, although there is movement in the Red Bull garage. There is movement. And yep, it's Verch's side of the garage, so he obviously feels under threat after that lap. And he's going to go for another run. Gerla.
Gerla saving, so he's going to go for his second hot lap. He's just saving
Gerla, yep.
Sure, he's going to go for one more.
I think Gerla might be done. Their fuel light is flashing, which means they have less than a lap of fuel. So I thought they were going to go for another run, but I don't think they're going to have enough in the tank. So that might be Gerla's challenge over. First one to start their lap will be Smelto. Smelto will be the first to start their lap. So we'll keep an eye on these top 5 and possibly John Wick as well. There's a lot of people to keep an eye on. So, Smelto crosses the line to start his final run. He's P4 currently. A little twitch of correction there in turn 1. It's not the most ideal line. Lepson also starting his run there. As Gerla has retired, so they didn't have time for another one. So Gerla will start at most second place. So Verch has dismissed one opponent already. Smelto was purple sector 1, according to the game. Nikau also starting their run now. So it's going to be Smelto, Lepson, Nikau. And then Verch. Ooh! The Ferrari onto the grass to get out of the way there, and Smelto near... Smelto's car looks very twitchy. And he's actually run wide there. He hasn't invalidated, he just got away with that. But that McLaren... That McLaren does not look stable in any way, shape or form. It looks very tricky. And he is still pushing.
Nico heavy improvement after the first sector might be his. Let's see.
Oh, and no, Smelto spun.
Ooh,
Smelto spun and into the wall.
Done for in this session.
That's him
Nico
done.
With huge improvement in sector 1, purple as well. This
Lepson's
might do
backed
it
off.
for the
Lepson's
Alpine.
backed off.
So now all eyes on Nico. He's the favorite to pick up pole as we speak, as he's going into the second sector. Ever Snacks retires, and so is Joel. Nico. Oh, he's going ghost, slipping a bit, but he's keeping it on the track.
He slipped on the second part of the chicane there. I think Lepson will have time for another run. Lepson will have time for another run. He's going now, so we'll watch Nico and then Lepson.
Nico with just a bit of improvement. It might not be enough. Can he fix it in the final sector? He still might push hard enough to get that pole position from the Red Bull, slipping hard into the final corner. He goes down the final main straight. Nico looking for a good finish to his run, and the Alpine won in Australia.
He doesn't improve. He lost it all in the second sector by overdriving. Lepson, what can he do? He's got sort of an extra lap as Verch improves.
From the pole sitter, provisional pole sitter with huge improvement. Now all eyes on Lepson. What can he do? Can he do something to threaten that Red Bull? It's been wonderful.
We didn't see the sector 1 time relative to pole because they both updated at the same time. He was smoother through that chicane section, that's for certain, than either of his rivals. John Wick goes up to 4th in the Aston Martin. But the eyes are on Lepson right now. As he comes, he's 3.75 up, which wouldn't be enough for pole, but it should shoot him up the order. I mean, he's 7/10ths down. That's not really representative of his regular pace. But surely he couldn't gain 4/10ths in the final sector. So what do we think? Maybe P4, maybe even P5, unless he really improves coming up to the line here. P5, yep, 3/10ths down, as I thought. So not the greatest run from Lepson or Nikau, to be fair, because Crawley Voice is in 3rd. Gerla's time was good enough for 2nd still. Verch seems untroubled, and that is it. Everyone else is either in the box or has crossed the line. So it is
Yes,
Verch
that
on
puts
pole in the Red
Verch
Bull.
on pole position. Great stuff from him. Gurlag being on the front row, and the second would be Crowley, Voice, and Nyko. And the man who won the last race is now P4. It's going to be difficult for him to climb up those positions, but then again, anything can happen in a league race. We
I mean,
are aware
Nyko
of his pace.
came from the back of the grid last week to win. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it feels like, you know, watching Verstappen in Miami.
Yeah, and I'm wondering about our gamer, because P18 for him, for people who know him, they must be surprised what is he doing at the bottom. And so am I wondering what happened. He must have somehow, some way either messed his laps enough to not improve, to not put a decent lap in, or he's just totally lost on the track of Hungary. Because this is nowhere near the time he should be expecting himself, so we'll surely see a possible run from behind from Gamer.
Apologies for hearing the team radios on there, by the way. I did mute all the drivers, but for some reason the game has unmuted all of them, so not quite sure why that's happened.
I think you can turn off the in-game voice chat in the settings of F1.
I may have to. I may have to. I don't like to because I use it in multiplayer, but
I believe so.
Codemasters, absolutely brilliant. But anyway, oh, it's raining.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
It's raining. It's pouring. We will not be snoring because this is looking exciting.
The first turn is gonna be an absolute pandemonium with this rain.
PTSD of Bottas. PTSD of Bottas.
Absolutely, Jesus.
Does anyone in chat have the weather forecast for the race? Because of course, despite being spectators, we have no information on this. Is it going to rain the whole race? Is it full wets? Is it? I'm seeing Inters sitting in Verti's garage there, so it looks to be intermediate conditions.
Yeah,
obviously there's going to be standing water in the pit lane, but it's hard. We can't see on track yet.
Yeah, and I don't think there's going to be a formation lap. There wasn't one last week, so we're going to have to be careful.
No, I'm assuming there wouldn't be. And here we go. We're on the lap.
And yes, we will be racing, I believe.
5 red lights. And we're underway. Verch, it is intermediate tires, gets a decent getaway. We've got VSC already.
Immediately, WSB.
How does that? Oh, whoa.
Virtual safety car.
Excuse
already.
me?
Less than 10 seconds for ignoring yellow flag. What is going on?
I think this might be a restart. Lepson has 20 seconds. Why did we get a virtual safety car straight off the line? No one's
sure. Looking for broken front wings. Everybody has them on their car.
No one even made contact. We just had virtual safety cars as soon as the race started.
What the? Yeah, Codemasters.
Codemasters.
I'm not sure if we're gonna get a restart.
I feel we have to. Lepson's got 20 seconds of penalty through no fault of his own.
I mean, they might cancel it via FIA. No idea how they're gonna do it because they're gonna be pit stops, obviously. But I mean, so far we're racing. Let's focus on what we have right now. We're gonna see if the race is gonna happen.
No, because they have to serve it in. If you serve it in the pits, the standard rules for these is if you serve it in the pits,
I mean, awful situation for. Lepson and Smelter also has a penalty.
Can you check? Can you check the tier chat?
I'm checking the chat. Tier chat. Sorry, let me check that if we have any info about the possible restart of the race.
Just checking. Meanwhile, Nyko immediately making moves through the field up to P3. So it is Verch from Gurla, from Nyko, from Crowley, from Smelto, Lepson, who is struggling a little bit. It seems as Wesley gets past Tilda.
No information about a restart so far from anybody, so we just keep on racing for now, and we'll see where it's gonna.
We will do, but if they have to serve that in the pit stops, that is grossly unfair because there is no reason for a safety car to be called.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we didn't see any of it, so yeah. Anyway, we have a huge gap built between Everett Snacks and Wesley, about already 2 seconds forming between the Williams and the Haas. In the meantime, Futuristic making a move down the inside out of the turn 1, and the V-Carb is finding that McLaren till they go into the left, trying to find him space for himself. He tries to win the position by pushing him hard. Oh, what a great stuff from Futuristic, holding onto the position. Can he do it? The next corner gets the right side advantage, and he does keep his position. Nice move.
We saw the tire strategies there, saying intermediates right the way through. Now, obviously, that doesn't account for any potential changes to the weather, but looking at the sky up there, I'd say this rain might be here for the duration.
I'm not
As
trusting the game.
AR Gamer is making moves as well. He's up to P13. He just got past Antabulous there. At the front, it's Azure Verch. Of course, there is going to be no DRS, but... Oh, slipping a bit wide there as Lepson... What's happened to Lepson? He's lost a position there. He's lost 2 positions. Must have run wide. Larson as well, struggling for grip in that second sector. And he gets tagged, just saves the slide. But he will drop him down to P16. 18, actually. Oh, they're sliding everywhere. That's Crystals. Losing the rear. So they're finding these conditions quite tricky. Every lap is an adventure. A big adventure for Larson as he Tokyo drifts his way around the hairpin. He's on the side of the track where there is no racing line, so he's losing all of his grip. And, well, everything's okay for now, but bad news for Smelter with his 10 seconds. Lepson's had an absolute mare of a start. So not only has he got the 20-second penalty, he's lost several places. He's down to P8, just ahead of his teammate Wesley.
They dropped 3 positions right out of the start, so it's not a good situation for Lepson going on. In the meantime, Gamer picked up 6 positions. He's already back up into P2, looking to pass Tilde any moment.
Just looking at our winners and losers. One of them is Ocean Chief, who is falling down the order. He just also placed a Joel as the Ferrari of... Oh, what's this? This is a 3-way battle with Inferno, Verti, and Crystals. Crystals getting past the Red Bull. Oh, they're all running wide. And Crystal's missing a bit of his front wing from the looks of it as well. So the front runners are all being boring. It's all happening at the back in the midfield right now.
Yeah, the front guys are separating themselves with some gaps to have some space saved for error. In the meantime, the backfield is absolutely packed with action, as we're now watching this fight unfold. And now Inferno, Koi, and Ferrari trying to seize the opportunity to pass Ocean Chief, but it's not going to come anytime soon as he's trying to pull away from the opposition as we speak.
You can see their throttle inputs, and just watching the cars around, how snakish they are. Look at that Sauber behind Inferno, just sliding every time he touches the throttle. Inferno trying to cure that with a lot of low rev high gears. You can see he's in 4th gear going around this final bend. That's not the usual gear. Straight up to 5th already. He just wants to curb that wheel spin, even if it's costing him a bit on pace. He just wants to keep the car on the rails. Compare that to the front runners. Let's see Verch's driving style as we look back from his Red Bull to see the pair of Alpines. And as happy as Verch will be to be leading, the Alpines will be happy with this for the Constructors' Championship. They're already leading with 37 points, and the 2nd and 3rd place would do wonders for that gap, especially with the Williams down 8th and 9th. You can see that Verch just has way more confidence. He's down to 2nd gear, which is the normal gearing for that corner. He doesn't feel the need to short shift. He doesn't feel the need to run lower revs. He's got the confidence in his car. Still sliding around a bit though, and still a bit twitchy, but you can just see how much more confident he is in these conditions. And these 3 are breaking away. Crawley Voice is 3.7 behind our podium finishers at the minute. Smelto, with the 10-second penalty, obviously he'll try and dispute that if he can with the stewards, but he's desperate to try and get past Crawley Voice because he's right under his wing, and I think he knows he's quicker and he wants to get off after those top 3.
Oh, Inferno Koi, nice exit from corner, now trying to find some gap to pass Ocean Chief. It's going to be difficult on this very
Meanwhile, Tilda, A Gamer is making moves through the field. AR Gamer, he's on the outside of Tilda, and he does make the move stick. Tilda trying to fight back, but he's offline on the very wet off-racing line, and that's not going to do much good. Joel has a little sniff down into turn 1, but thinks better of it in the Sauber, the kick Sauber. And Inferno, Cristella's doing well actually to stay with these runners. I know he's only down 17th, but he's missing part of his front wing, and he's sticking with them. Doing quite a good job there. And the gaps are spreading out quite a bit more. It's that battle for 16th, 17th that's the closest at the minute. Everyone else, aside from the top 3, are more than a second apart. Smelto desperately trying to keep in range of Crawley Voice, but he's slipping back there. So, as weird as it is, we're actually keeping an eye on the back of our pack at the minute, because that's where the action is right now. Now, the big question is, for the overall outlook of the race, do Smelto and Lepson have to serve these penalties at the pit stop? I know that 5-second penalties have to be served. I don't know about 10-second penalties.
I think they will. I think in Australia something like this happened, that the guy had a 10-second penalty, he had to stay in the pit. I'm 90% sure at least that they will have to get rid of those penalties in the pit stop. That's my take, but again, maybe I'm wrong.
Well-timed safety car may be Lepson's only hope then. Because if he tries to fight out with the stewards, I mean, you know, they can take... Well, I suppose what they'll have to do is just take 20 seconds off his finishing time at the end of the race.
Yeah, I mean, the FIA will take a look at this. We're not the one to decide, because I have no idea how they're going to handle this, how this all is going to be handled. I mean, probably the most bizarre start, one of the most bizarre race starts in all of SLR. I mean, VSC right out of nowhere.
Literally, as soon as the light turned green, we had VSE. So
yeah,
some overeager
like,
Marshall.
Yeah,
Speaking of overeager, what a move from Joel! And the Ferrari takes off the track in protest. And he's battling with... Oh no, two Ferraris battling with each other in wet conditions. I have horror stories about this, as Crystalis decides to do a bit of rallycross there for a second. It's all happening with these guys at the back here.
Yeah, Ocean Chief is trying to find a way up into P13 against Crystals, but it's so hard to overtake in those conditions unless your opponent makes a mistake. So now the Aston Martin waiting patiently for a Kick Sauber's mistake out of one of the corners, and just waiting right behind him.
We have yellows in Sector 2, that's Magnetic.
It's Mercedes.
It's Magnetic at the back, he's spun, he seems to be okay. But
That's
the thing with Hungary, is despite it being... It's a very... It's a track that plays tricks on you. Despite it being so fast and wide and a proper racetrack, overtaking around here, even in dry conditions, is very difficult. So, trying to overtake it in the wet must be a nightmare. And it's a nightmare that Naiku may have to deal with soon, because...
Futuristic, who is right now coming in this lap. So are Ocean Chief and Crystals. Now this is probably shift for wets. Yes, it is! The full wet tires are going into play. And then early pit stops from Futuristic, Ocean, and Crystals. Now this is going to be either getting them a huge advantage, or it's going to bury their race. We're going to have to be careful on this one. It's a bit of a gamble.
I mean, they were outside of the points anyway, and they weren't really making ground.
Yeah,
what have they got to
Why not
lose?
take the risk? Exactly. So this might be a good decision.
Sorry, I'm watching the front three because the gaps were more than a second. They've all closed within a second of each other now, and Smelto is also closed up. So I don't know if pitting to wets is the right call. Either, well, this means one of two things, because based on these gaps, we can deduce either that some drivers are now finding the conditions so bad that they're starting to struggle. Is that Lepson spinning? It is. Lepson's horrible Hungarian Grand Prix continues.
This might just mean the conditions are getting worse.
Well, so that means either the conditions are getting too bad for the Inters, or the conditions are just stabilizing, and as the tires wear off, it's favoring others. But based on some... I mean, we'll keep... Let's look at the tires.
Futuristic is on wet.
Who's running wet? Let's watch Futuristic on board here.
And he's gaining on Larson, his teammate. He had about 7 seconds on the way out of the pit lane. It's now 6.5.
Well, he's gaining a little bit, but not...
Yeah,
well,
is.
Okay, now it's coming down. Now it's coming down.
The conditions might be starting to get worse as we speak, as we see Tilde is coming into the pits, so the McLaren making a stop. So are Lepson and Inferno Koi. This must mean that the fully wet tires are now most likely option to be put on your car, and Futuristic already have them, so he's gonna hit the main straight, passing all the drivers who are still about to make a pit stop. Another yellow flag up in the front. Who caused this one?
The question is, of course, who is going to... And Lepson does have to serve one of his 10-second penalties in the pits. That must be painful for him.
Oh, yeah.
And now they start work on the car, finally. But this is... Hello, Lepson? There you go. Oh, sorry, a bit of lag there. But the interesting thing is going to be, are these conditions to last? Because if they're not, and the track is going to get drier, they will have to go back onto the intermediates at some point as Crystalis retires.
In the pit lane.
He retired in the pit lane, though. He's just said he's had enough. It'll be interesting, though, because if the conditions are changing back towards drier conditions, they will have to make another stop onto the intermediates, and the key will be, when do you do that? Or, because again, we don't know what the weather's going to be like, are we going to have a sudden dryness, and maybe some people can carry the wets straight through to the dries?
Maybe.
which is
Anyway,
not unheard
the
of.
wets
It's not unheard
are
of.
right now 100% an option. I'm watching futuristic time compared to the Ferrari driver on Inters, and he just gained over 2 seconds under this one lap. So it's
While the
definitely
front
a
runners are going on, Smelto has pitted. Verch has
pits
lost
for
the
Gamer
lead, and
pits.
he's struggling now. Gurla and Naiku both going past him.
Yeah, look
But
at the
even
top guys.
still,
Look at the top guys sliding. They're struggling hard.
yeah,
Look at
even
the
still,
rain,
they're on
how
the wrong
heavy it is.
tire. No,
I mean, they might not know that the wets are now better, but I mean, look at futuristic. He's rounding up another lap. He's gonna gain even
to
more
be fair
positions.
though, look at the gap. I mean, if we're going by gap to the leader, even if they pit at the end of this lap, they'll still come out ahead of the other wet runners. The runners they come out
Yes, exactly.
ahead of Joel in P8, and Vert needs to pit because he's really struggling now. He's dropped 2 seconds, but he.
Again, maybe the conditions will get better. Maybe the intermediates are just temporarily worse, and they will get better as we speak in a couple of laps. But it's
I mean,
still
we
a
need to.
huge
What we need to
loss
see
right now.
is the current lap times. We can only see fastest laps because the
Yeah, look at
Alpines seem
Futuristic.
to be.
He's gaining so much on these guys on the intermediates.
Yeah, but the Alpines are going around just fine. They've pulled out 2 seconds on Verch. I mean, it's maybe not the quickest, but they seem content with the Inters,
yeah,
and
they're
they're not.
fighting
You know, they're
against
not
the guys.
struggling. If anything, their pace
Yeah.
has improved.
I mean, they're surely fighting off the guys on Inters, but the guys on wets will get closer as we speak. It's just a matter
Well,
of time.
well,
It's
let's
not a
keep
matter
an
of
eye on the
if,
gap to the
when.
leader with Futuristic. We have gap to leader. The gap is currently 41.4, and it's not really coming down at the minute. 41.5 at the end of the second sector.
Snax is also coming in for wet tires as he pits from intermediates.
41 sec. If anything, the gap's increasing. So I don't know if it's a setup choice, but the Inters are working really well for the 2 Alpines. Verch is struggling, and he's gone around again for some reason. But yeah, the 2 Alpines are just, and they're increasing the gap. Futuristic is now 42 seconds adrift of the leaders. So for whatever reason, I don't know what they're doing, but the Alpines Gurla especially is just enjoying these conditions on the intermediate tires.
I mean, visually, it's wet 100%. You look at how heavy the rain is pouring down. But somehow they keep those intermediates running very well.
But of course the advantage is if you can make the Inters work because the track is so wet, it keeps the intermediates cool, which of course means that they will last even longer than they would have done before, because there's no drying line to worry about. So if you stay on the racing line, it's dry enough for the intermediates as long as you keep pounding around. And of course, the wet runners will be displacing the water. So all they have to do is keep an eye on the temps, and they can they might not even.
Driver for P8 while he's on wets, and Ferrari was in intermediates, and it's huge struggle.
And of
for
course,
Antonopoulos.
because we're on wet tires, the mandatory pit stop doesn't apply. So they can play around with strategy. The 2 Alpines, if they think they can take these all the way. You know, I genuinely don't know what tire wear is like. I highly doubt they can, but if they feel a 1-stop can work, or even a 0-stop, they can try it. Now,
Sure about the
Naikau is starting to struggle a bit more. He's 1.4 behind the teammate, but Gurla is just trucking on. Let's see the gap to leader again. Futuristic, again, it's increased. He's 43 seconds away from Gurla.
Check out Eversnux, though, his gap to the leaders.
Eversnaxall is at 39.2.
Let's keep that in mind. We'll check it in a minute.
Well, we
because I
will
think
check it, but he's
on
making his way
run
through
right
the
now.
field because Wesley had pitted. 39.4.
He is on wets, and I think
It's
a bit quicker than
increasing. I don't know
Futuristic.
what Gurla had for breakfast this morning, but the gap is just increasing. 39.4, 39.
So Alpines are on fire, but overall the wets are still better option for the intermediate.
For the majority of the field. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I don't know why Verch hasn't pitted. He's 4.5 behind.
Yeah, no idea. Maybe he's just trying to hold on for a better improvement of the weather. Maybe he's hoping for the weather to get back into intermediate situation, but as of right now it's not even close. So maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure. We don't have any weather report from anybody in the chat. It's gonna get better or even worse, just stays the same. And Futuristic makes another move on a Ferrari in a difficult spot, but he makes it look easy due to this tire advantage, and so does Gamer, passing Antabulus, who just can't keep going on these intermediates, mate. You have to get into the pits and get those full wets on, because those intermediates are working out only for the 2 leading Alpines right now.
They really are, aren't they?
Flying.
I mean, But presumably, the only reason I can think of that they're saying that they're staying out in the inters is that this heavy rain is not going to last. There's, if the rain was going to stay heavy for the rest of the race, then of course you go to wets, because the track is just not going to improve. But surely there must be a strategic decision here where they think it's not worth losing the time in the pit stop to go to the wets when we're going to go back to inters. Now, Futuristic is actually going offline there, I assume, to break the toe. But it'd be interesting to see if he's able to break away from AR Gamer, if he goes offline again, because is he trying to keep the wets cool? Are the wets overheating already? Because that is a tactic you can do. You can go offline and it cools the tires down.
Maybe he's just trying to not give him a slipstream.
Yeah, probably. But I'm just keeping an eye on him because that gap has not come down. And
I mean, wets are still on fire. Look at Eversnax already decreasing the gaps to Joel heavily, about to pass him. So the rest of the field just can't make use of these heavily used intermediates.
But that's the only reason I can think of that they're staying on the inters. It must be a thought like, maybe maybe heavy rain is only going to last 5-10 minutes or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if it's not, then it's just a stupid decision. As we watch right now, Snacks is trying to pass Joel for P6, most likely going to do him in the final corner. That's where you have the most space for an overtake, and with this amount of advantage coming to the full wets, this should be easy for the Hask driver, unless he makes a mistake. As Joel stays out on the track again, no idea what is the plan, if not the tire improvement situation.
I mean, even the wets are struggling for grip. Whoa! Snacks Lottle didn't get the run that he wanted.
Really pushing hard, and those wets are also struggling in some places.
I was going to say, but the thing is, Joel did get a good launch off that corner, so
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like we're sort of in between tires at the minute.
Yeah, Crowley was also sliding just as I peeked at him, so this is overall hard situation for anybody.
Yeah, we're sort of between compounds, so maybe the right call from the front runners to a degree. I mean, if they can survive these next couple of laps, then hopefully their inters will...
Definitely Antabulus is the guy who is not making use of those intermediates, dropping another position down to 11 to Smelter, who just passed him on full wets, and Snacks is getting closer to Joel again.
I mean, another indicator is that Naiku was 2.5 seconds down a few laps ago. Clawed it back to 1.4 now, as Snacksall looks to the inside, but well, forces the Sauber wide, tries to go to the outside, and he is ahead now. He should be making that move stick.
Yeah,
I mean,
great move.
A little bit rude, but I mean, it was, Joel B who went wide in the end, so... But that was harder work than I think we were expecting from Snacksall, and you can clearly see on the track from the onboard that there is definitely a big dry line. It's not like full wets where every part of the track is soaking, you need an oar instead of a tire.
Yeah, I mean, again, I wouldn't trust EA with absolutely anything, neither do Codemasters, because, I mean, the guys just put out Virtual City Cup for no reason, so that dry racing line might be just a visual glitch. I'm not trusting them anymore from this
Speaking of which, the gamble for wets has not worked out for Lepson. Poor man is down in 18th place, with another 10-second penalty to his name, unless he gets them removed. But even if he does get that 10 seconds removed, I mean, that would put him only at what? Tail end of the points right now, and he's just power sliding his way through the final corner. Lepson is not having a fun time.
Yeah, what is the gap between Eversnacks and the leaders right now, by the way?
Between Eversnacks and leaders, I shall tell you... Wait, who are we looking for here? Sorry? Eversnacks and Lottle. Gap between him and leader is 44 seconds. 44.8.
So it's even bigger than it was.
Yep, again, these wets.
Yeah,
I can see why people went to the wets, but I think it was a bit of a gamble, and it's a gamble that's not entirely paid off.
I mean, you're right, it's something in between the wets and intermediates, and the guys from the top are just making a wonderful use of those intermediates.
I mean, just like real life F1, the wets just don't seem to have a purpose. I mean, because, I mean, yes, some drivers have lost time, but so long as you can match the conditions, if anything, you've gained time by staying on the intermediates. Even though you've been in torrential rain. It was good for a few laps, but not enough to justify a pit stop.
Well, depends. For example, Eversnacks picked up 2 positions thanks to this.
Got yellows. Oh! Inferno is That's a very interesting place to end up in the wall. He's lost one of his end plates as well.
With those conditions, every place is a death trap on this track, so you just have to be careful and keep your eyes open 100% of the time. Because
poor old Lepson started what was it, P5? And
let me check how many positions he dropped.
He's 1 minute...
12 positions. Jesus.
It's not even that. He's 1 minute 11 behind the leaders. He's about to be lapped in a few short laps, and he's losing a position to his evil twin, Larson. Lepson and Larson, the evil twins, doing battle here.
And our gamer, beautiful maneuver, trying to fight off Futuristic, trying to now slick on the back of Joel. So it's now going to be a Mercedes driver putting the kick Sauber under pressure, trying to pass him on these full wets, trying to prove they are better. He is indeed quicker in some moments. Now he's going to have to deliver the punchline. Can he do it? Trying to sneak alongside Joel somewhere in here.
He'll not do it in Sector 2. Sector 2 is borderline impossible. Unless you've got a massive speed difference, kicks the rear out.
A bit of slip up again. Yeah, this is not going to help him at all as he sticks to the inside. And now Joel going wide. Gamer trying to make a dive on the inside, perhaps just trying to...
I think he might be trying to... I think he might be trying to cool the tires, because looking on my screen, that rain is not as heavy as it was.
Yeah, absolutely. The conditions just might get better.
It's a little bit, yep.
A bit better.
It's a bit brighter, definitely, and it's not raining as heavily. I think some of these guys will have to switch back to the inters, or if you're on inters, just get a fresh set of boots on. You've saved yourself a pit stop, effectively. And Gerla, we're going to have to find out...
Oh! Got him up into P7 against Joel. Can Joel somehow fight back on the inside? He's going to let him through until he wants to switch back positions again on the outside of the corner. No, he does not, so he gives it up to Gamer, goes down the field.
Of course, the thing we need to remember is that even if you're on the inters, which will become the better tire, a lot of these guys have had the inters on since the start. So even being on the right compound of tire, those inters are slowly becoming slicks, and we are not in slick conditions yet. So AR Gamer seems to have solidified that move. Naiku is in the box. Naiku's in the box.
Ooh. What's the decision? Fresh inters?
It has to be inters. It has to be.
For the Alpine.
It is. Yep, fresh set of inters. And just ahead of the Ferrari, I think. Nope, they're inside each other.
Comes into a tire, so Inferno Koi is out of the race, and Niko coming out on fresh intermediates. He should be the fastest guy on the track right now as we speak. Evers Knox just decreased the gap between himself and John Wick by 5 seconds, so he's still quicker than the guy ahead of him on intermediates. But then again, those intermediates are heavily used. We have to keep that in mind.
I mean, Naiku just found a nice little gap to tuck back into. He's... Oh, it's Verge gets 3 seconds for track limits. Naiku is 8 seconds adrift of Crawley Voice, but Crawley Voice presumably will pit, so he's got a nice clear track around him. I'm surprised that Naiku was the first one to box. Obviously, there's no team orders, because, of course, normally it's lead car gets priority. But Gerla obviously thinking that they can take these at least a lap further. Let's watch Gerla just to see if they do box this lap. We've got others in the pits. Wesley's in the pits. Lepson and Magnetic both in the pits. Oh, if Gerla doesn't pit this lap, then they're going to get lapped. And she doesn't, or he doesn't. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. They don't. So Gerla carrying on round. Last lap was a 1:31.9. Let's see what Naiku does. I mean, this is their out lap, obviously. So it will be a bit slower.
Right now, because Futuristic's in a tough spot. He's quicker than Joel, but he can't find a space to overtake him while he's under pressure from behind from Smelto. So it's an interesting scenario in which Futuristic wants to be out of here ahead of Joel, but Joel doesn't want to let him through that easily. Also, Smelto was trying to sneak up on him, so Futuristic, he now lost a lot of momentum out of this corner, so he's going to have to fight back for a position, but then again, Joel just can't do anything more on these tires.
Naiku has undercut Vert, so Vert had to respond, but it was a slow pit stop as well, so Vert has lost more time to Naiku than he would have otherwise done.
In the pits, and I'm wondering, is this guy going to go for intermediates? Surely, because he just came in from full wets, and the full wets are not an option right now, as we see.
Snaxel boxing. Yep, it's the inters.
Those are intermediates, so...
Smelto.
If it's inters right now, who is on wets as well? We've got our gamer, Futuristic, Smelto, Ocean Chief, and Larson still on wets. So this has to be the final call for these guys. Come to the pits and get those intermediates on as we have yellow flags in the second sector.
I mean, whoa! As Futuristic throws his rear out so wide that it ghosts his car. And Smelto goes through, says, thank you very much. You made the mistake, you ghosted, I'll take that position, thank you very much. But surely they all have to box. They're all struggling like crazy. Should we just throw the checker flag now? Because Gerla is 16.8 ahead of Crawley Voice. Both of them still to pit, and is 20 seconds ahead of Naiku. So, well, actually, no, that's the only real battle for the lead is between the two Alpines.
Safety car can pop out any second as we speak, so no checkered flag just about right now.
Where is? I mean, it's not going to do much for who have they lapped up to? I mean, it's not going to do much for Magnetic, Verti, and Lepson because they've all been lapped. Wesley is the next target for Gerla. Now, granted, Gerla does have to pit, so they might be able to unlap themselves, but I mean, Gerla's just making.
Never count out the race at any point. Oh, we have some pit stops, Gamer and John Wick as well coming in for those intermediates.
Futuristic as well.
Futuristic, but Smelto is staying out on full wets, and Joel is staying out on these used intermediates. So the guys who are still on the first set of intermediates, you start to have wondering, are they going to plan to go for no pit stops at all? Because what is the other reason you'll be staying out for so damn long on these used intermediates?
I suppose, I mean, the rain is getting less and less all the time. Is there a chance we will see a transition to dries? Surely it's still going to be a while, but I mean, that rain is now just a couple of spits.
Ooh, Smelt's struggling hard going off the truck.
Oh, we have a...
Depends. No idea about that one, but...
And Crawley Voice is battling with Naiku. Naiku forces the issue and gets through on the fresh rubber. Surely Crawley Voice has to pit now in response. He's clearly... his tyres are clearly not up to the task. Nope, he goes round again.
And he does not.
Oh, we've got...
Ooh, very virtual safety car.
Futuristic is in the wall.
Advantage.
Futuristic has lost his front wing, having just pitted. Clearly the tyres weren't up to temperature, and he's paid the price by pushing too hard.
At this point, he was just too confident, probably, having the fresh rubber, but this does not allow you to just push to the max, and he found out the hard way about this one, so it's going to be a
VST. Now he's driving Nunu from the Teletubbies. He says Lepson gets 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, but he came into a tire, so understandable.
Oh. You gotta feel for the man.
Absolutely. I mean, what a shame.
Having done so well in the opening round, it's just been a disaster for the Williams team in general, because Wesley's only P12. Second in the Constructors. They won't be after this, that's for certain.
And Smelto
does finally pit.
Sliding hard, entering the pit lane, but
why is Ocean Chief? Ocean Chief is going incredibly slowly. Those tires, they've stayed out far too long.
Yeah, I mean, surely those wets are not optimal right now, so...
Okay, this is interesting with the front two. Naikau is 20 seconds adrift, pushing into... I mean, he's gaining hand over fist. So, I don't know whether... Is Gerla maybe playing the team game? Was pitting first just to be an experiment? Maybe Naikau... Or sorry, not Naikau, sorry. So, I don't know. I don't know what the plan is here from the Alpines, but... Naikau is gaining rapidly on Gerla. Surely Gerla will pit. No, Gerla's going on. I mean, let's compare the lap times. So Gerla, sorry,
to, like, stay out till the end.
So Naikau just did a 37, and Gerla has only just. Well, actually, we'll watch them as they come over the line for the next time. As Crawley Voice finally pits as well. For a fresh set of intermediates.
Go all the way to the end, no idea about what is the possible strategy for the Alpines right now. I mean, he's not dropping too much to Nico. I'm trying to monitorize the gap.
I mean, you say that, but he lost like it was 20. The gap was 21 seconds at the start of the last lap. Ooh, oh, yellow sector 1. We have a Red Bull and a virtual safety car. Now, as oh, poor Antabulous, he was just about to make a move on Smelto. That's if it lasts long enough. That's exactly what Gerla is looking for. They're halfway through Sector 2, and if it lasts long enough, this will mitigate some of the damage that they would take in the pit stops. It's a question of how long the safety car lasts. But Naikau is taking it very cautiously under VSC. They've dropped down to plus 23 seconds. And Gerla coming round. the hairpin now. VSC still out. Oh, it's
Ooh,
just
Gamer
stopped. It's
gets
just
a
stopped, and a
penalty.
drive-through for AR Gamer, and Gerla goes on again.
No idea what's the plan right now.
And Tabulous is
Absolutely no idea.
pitted. So who had the drive-through? That was AR Gamer.
That was
Oh,
ridiculous.
after making such a good fight back.
Yeah,
all
only
that
working
hard work
bottom
is
up
going to be
into
undone, it
P8,
seems.
and that drive-through is definitely going to ruin his race from now on, so it's going to be a tough one for him to swallow.
Just looking, Gerla has just gone past, and behind them is Antabulous until. So everyone up to P12 has been lapped so far. Now again, some of those people unlap themselves because Gerla will presumably pit. Presumably, but this has been a dominant performance from the Alpines so far. I mean, near enough half the field lapped. It's kind of insane. Haven't really seen that since, well, either since the days of Schumacher and when you had all those backmarker teams, really. When you had things like the Minardis and the later years of Jordan. I don't know, maybe things like Super Aguri and stuff like that, but haven't seen this for a long time. And there's no sign that Gerla's losing control. There's no slipping, there's no sliding, there's no overdriving the car, they're just trucking on round. And we've got, well, here's the maths. We've got, what, 13 laps to go, including the one that they're about to start. The gap is 15 seconds. Even if Naiku gains a second a lap, Gerla will still come across the line as the winner.
So the question is, can he gain more than a second per lap towards Guru?
And can Gerla's tyres last that long?
Yeah, remember, every single lap is going to be slower due to his tires decreasing, so Naiko just might get more than a second cut down every lap.
I mean,
This
Naiku
is
with the fast lap,
possible.
but what we've got to understand as well here is that in order for Naiku to make up that difference, they have to push. And the more you push on a drying track, the more you burn up your inters. Gerla can afford to control the pace and preserve those tires. Naiku doesn't have that option. They have to go for it. So they have to play a difficult balancing game of catching Gerla, but also not killing their tires in the process. Because on a drying track, those inters in this second stint will not last as long as they did on the first one. And drifting the car around the corners like that is not going to make those rears like them anymore. Gap is 14.3, so I mean, and Gerla is coming into the hairpin now, so that's about a second, maybe just slightly more. It's
Yeah,
going to be nip and tuck.
It is just above 1 second, so this
Nightcat with a purple sector too as well, so this is an intriguing battle. I mean, Gerla has missed their window now. They can't pit. And even if they pitted now, they'll come out behind Verge, possibly even behind Crawley Voice. So it seems Gerla's plan is to try and go to the end. 13.5 again now, so about a second and a half for Nightcat as another fastest lap. Nightcat looks on target to do it.
Pushing really hard right now, trying to catch Gerla.
Pushing really hard, but of course, as the great Murray Walker once said, catching up is one thing, getting past is quite another entirely. And of all the tracks to do it at, it's Hungary, which is not an easy track to overtake, and you don't have DRS to help you down the main straight.
Yeah,
you know, if you had DRS, you might have a
race. If Gerla's gonna finish the race, look at the tire situation. He's already on 23 old lap intermediates.
Yeah, he's had those on since lap 1.
Those tires are gonna be dead, and if he can't keep the car on track, he's not gonna be able to defend well. Because let's be honest,
Codemasters, new feature. Let us see the tire percentages, please.
Yeah, that would be useful.
That would be useful.
Less than 13 seconds already for Naiko. I would say with confidence, Naiko will get past Gerla before the finish line. Not anytime soon, but definitely before.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom, meanwhile, with John Wick, he's currently battling for 5th place with Eversnaxolotl and Joel. And all three are in close concertina, so we'll keep an eye on the gap at the front, but let's check in on these three amigos. And hopefully a battle will be brewing. Gamer trying to make his way through. Did he serve his penalty?
Yes, he did serve his drive-through penalty already.
So he is, at least he's in the point, singular. Speaking of making a point, John Wick is trying to make one on Joel, who's proving my point a little. I mean, he's gone wide there, but he's sort of proving my point. As oh, he's still fighting hard. That even though he's clearly got less pace, he did put up a fight.
Yeah, but he just dropped 2 positions in.
He did. Well, that was because he ran wide with his own mistake. But if it's someone like Gurla who has shown great control over the car, I don't think Nycow's going to have the easy time that we all expect him to, whenever they finally catch up.
See, it's not going to be easy, but I'm still convinced that
You're
Nyko
still
has
convinced.
the pace to catch him. Yeah,
you want to put you want to put a tenner on it?
I want to put my life on the line to.
Snacks a lot. John Wick cooling his tires.
11 seconds left.
I mean, Joel is not being left for dead here. Maybe he has slightly less pace, but now he can just watch with a bucket of popcorn as these two do battle.
Yeah, but he can rejoin this battle. You see that those used intermediates are just good enough to get it to the finish line, but with no.
I mean, you might not need to if these two go at it too hard. That's the thing.
Well, absolutely. But in that case, Nyko doesn't have to push because maybe Gurla's going to fall off. We can just assume they're going to.
Well, Nyko is pushing because there's another fastest lap, 27.2.
Yeah, there we go. 10 seconds worth of gap, lap 26.
Just about 10 laps. 10 laps to go, including this one. And where is Gurla? Gurla has just started this one. So, I mean, the pace. Gurla is obviously controlling this a bit because it was a second and a half that they were gaining a lap at the start, and now it's moved down to about a second a lap. So Gurla is controlling the pace, controlling the life out of their tires. Nyko obviously does still have a lot of pace, but of course the other thing is he's got to deal with a bit of traffic, and he's got it. Whoa, and sliding everywhere. I mean, his tires will make it, but what condition will they be in at the end?
Yeah, another thing is Gurla has 100% battery, while Nyko is down to 40%.
I was going to say, Nyko's burning.
That's going to be a big one for him.
Man, Nyko's really pushed this lap. 8 seconds the gap now. So he's really pulled out the stops on this lap. And this seems to be the peak of Nyko's tires. This seems to be where they're at their best.
Oh, yellow flags. Mercedes is staying still. He keeps on going, and that was the Mercedes.
That'd be Magnetic, I would imagine. Yep.
Old
Old friend of mine, Magnetic. He's fallen on harder times in this race, but he'll keep going. He's a trucker. Not literally, you understand. I mean, like, you know, he trucks on. He keeps going. So we're keeping on that main battle. Meanwhile, John Wick, much like an action film, is having another sequel battle with Snaxolotl, which is not the most intimidating villain name, I'll be honest, but hey, we'll make it work. Joel has fallen back 2 seconds. These two are inseparable at the minute.
It's not the name, it's the action that keeps you pushing, and ever Snux has the action to bring it to John Wick. He wants to get past him.
I'm sorry, whenever he mentions Snaxolotl, all I can picture is like a Snorlax munching on crisps or something.
I mean, no idea if that's the case, but he definitely
I don't know why, I just get that image in my head. Whoa, Tokyo Drift there from Snaxolotl.
Well, he definitely wants to grab a snack off John Wick, because he's definitely looking to pass the Aston Martin.
Hey, take him to dinner first. Take him to dinner first. Trying to get the slipstream, it won't do much good if you're on the wet side of the track. And that track is definitely drying. I'm wondering if...
I mean, the conditions are surely getting better because Nyko just keeps improving lap after lap. It's another purple.
But at what point will they improve? Will they get to the point where the inters are actually too much for this track? Because Gurla is basically just wearing these tires down until they become slicks.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a dry track in this race unless like for one more final lap. But that's it.
It's only spitting at the minute, and again, every time Nyko goes for a burst of pace, knocks it down by like a couple of seconds, and then you go back to looking at Vertsnoise, that's the fastest lap. You go back to looking at the gap and you're like, this is still matching about a second a lap. I mean, including this lap, we've got 6 to go. Sorry, 6 to go after this one, and the gap is 6.6. So despite gaining like 3 seconds in one lap, Nyko just seems to have lost all of that pace in the next couple of laps, and Gurla just keeps trucking on at a consistent pace. it's a very tactical battle at the minute. And
Yeah,
it
I
will
mean,
go
it's
down to the wire,
basically a
but
driver against the track at this moment. But then again, I'm pretty sure Nyko will throw a challenge to Gurla right before the finish line, decreasing the gap down underneath 6.
speaking of a
6
challenge,
seconds
sorry,
already.
Snaxlolly thought about it. Who else is close on track? Wesley, AR Gamer, and Tilda are all keeping each other company. Wesley, the only
Gamer's
one
still
flying the flag
pushing
for the
hard
Williams
for the
team.
Still pushing hard for the P9.
Oh, we got yellows.
Yellow flag, someone staying on the track.
Is that
and
futuristic?
That is the, yeah, futuristic in the V car.
Oh, it's all gone wrong for him.
Yeah, the VSC would have saved Gurla right now, but it's not gonna come
Yeah.
out, so it's gonna have to keep running
let's
away
see.
as Nyko is only 5.7 behind him already.
Whoa! They're all drifting everywhere on these intermediates. Gurla just seems to be a bit of a Swiss Army knife when it comes to tyre management. They've got these inters through extreme wets, and now they've got them working on a drying track as well. They just don't care. It's like, dry track, wet track, I don't mind. Just give me some rubber. So long as it's tyre shaped, I'm okay.
Another yellow, and that was
That
caused
was...
by
there was a Mercedes involved in that. That's Larson. No, it's not Larson, sorry. That was... who was... oh, that was Verge, who was lapping the Mercedes, but he lost it while trying to do so. Verge miles away, though. 20.21 seconds adrift and with a penalty. So, after this one... I mean, the gap is... no, hang on, sorry. Try and work this out. After this one, there will be... it'll be 6 to go, and the gap is just under 5 seconds. So Nyko is on target to get Gurla in the final lap.
Absolutely.
Will, surely he couldn't be so cruel.
Why not?
I know, F1's a ruthless sport. But,
Championships, they're not won by happy, nice people who give away the positions. They're won by assholes who wants to take them. So.
Futuristic is gambling on the softs. This'll be interesting.
I mean, at this point, he's just having fun. I mean, he's in the back.
I mean, he's letting the leaders go by. Let's see. Whoa.
He's surely testing a bit.
Yep. Whoa. Yep, definitely not right for wets.
Yeah, no way.
Or for slicks.
Yeah,
But
Nyko's
he's been
forced
lapped.
to-
I think he's been lapped twice now, actually.
Yeah, Crowley Voice gets up into P3 ahead of the Red Bull driver, going for that.
I just
last
saw that.
podium
Where did
spot.
Crowley Voice come from in all this? Oh, Verge has damage.
Ooh, you're right.
Verge has front wing damage. You can just see from the onboard if the...
Yeah, he's missing this one.
Yep, front right end plate's gone. Now, was that from his mistake earlier, or was that contact between the Haas and the Red Bull? But Crowley Voice,
Yeah.
who was just minding his own business in the background, is suddenly on the podium.
Yes.
Another one to watch here is AR Gamer, who is all over the back of Wesley, but just cannot find a way through.
And guess
Until
what?
they're
Nyko
keeping him
with
close
another
company.
Purple sector, and Nyko is looking absolutely brilliant right now. 3.3 to go to Gurla. What a pace from the championship leading up in
It's
right
not over yet, though. That's the thing. It's not over until you see the checkered flag. Nyko with another fastest lap. So they keep on getting these little bursts of pace. But how much... there's not going to be any more VSCs. I think we're past the point where a safety car can be called.
Hopefully.
But I mean, looking at the battery though, 21%. I mean, Gurla has been burning a bit more now.
Yeah, it's down to 50.
Yeah.
40 now.
They're doing a hot lap mode, which, believe it or not, I can't believe Codemasters haven't changed this. You can actually just run most of your race in hot lap mode.
Oh yeah, that is crazy. That is wild.
It is crazy. I don't know why that's a thing, but it is. Still conserving plenty of energy though. Will Nyko have anything left to challenge? Because realistically, the only way you're going to get the move done, unless Gurla makes a mistake in the second sector, where they have been pretty much impervious through all their conditions, the only place you're really going to get them is at the end of the main straight down into turn 1, as Futuristic spins again.
Yeah, still testing those slicks, but it's not going good.
But so they will have. But will Nyko have enough battery? I mean, he's got half the battery of Gurla. They're actually right all together now. We'll go on board with Nyko. There they are, the two Alpines.
0.8.
Fox 2. Futuristic with another 3 seconds. He's just not having a fun afternoon out there, is he? Or evening, I should say. So, Naiku will now, of course, also be in the dirty air of Gurla as well, so that won't help matters. It's not the easiest task for Naiku, despite how much he's gained. And you can see Naiku drifting everywhere. But where, you know, it's Hungary. Where do you send it? Where do you make the move?
If you're Naiku, you can just do it all over the place. It doesn't really matter. He's just...
I mean, I think it does, because especially with these wider cars, surely not going to try for the run into the chicane. No, thought better of it. Saving battery here as well, actually, but so is Gurla. Both of them presumably will save battery.
The longer they're going to keep going, it's better for him. Because
traffic ahead.
Gurla will just keep on being slower as his tires degrade, and Naiku is not going to lose any much more pace. So we can just save his battery for now and just make the attack happen on the final lap.
I'm surprised we're not seeing a switch to slicks though, man. The track looks bone dry right now. Whoa!
Oh, look at Gurla. That was a snap. Goes
to the outside.
Right side. Beautiful move to the outside, and he just passes him.
Oh no, Gurla's still there. Gurla's still there.
No, Naiku is leading the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Oh, now Gurla will have Slipstream. Can Gurla challenge back here?
More batteries, so he might get close to Naiku, but he's gonna have to pass him, and those tires are already almost close to being dead.
Naiku has burned most of his battery here.
Yeah, nah, Gurla with 50%.
AR Gamer going to the softs as well.
Yellow flag of Futuristic again. Look at the pit stops. Look at the pit stops. Even our gamers coming in, so this.
And I just said, yeah, AR Gamer West. I mean, they might as well. It's for the final point.
I mean, there's no risk taken, so why not at this point? He might just take.
Well, it was a brave effort from Gurla, but just too many laps. Rather than, if it's not going to be a case of if there had been 1 lap extra, it would be if there had been 2 laps less.
Yeah, there's a still good fight between Smelto and Eversnugs because the McLaren is just trying to find a space on the inside.
He's looking to the inside. The Haas swoops across. Oh, they make contact. There was bumping there.
And there's a wing of, I believe, McLaren. Yes, McLaren's wing is down on this corner.
Snacks the little pits. Snacks the little pits.
Yeah, and McLaren loses a wing.
I mean, everyone's going to dries, but John Wick just set the fastest lap on the intermediates.
He's just that guy. He's just different.
This is truly a John Wick moment.
And he's done it on 14 laps old intermediates. I mean,
come on, lad. Yeah, I've been very impressed with John Wick.
Gurla's in the pits.
Oh, does Snaxalol come out ahead? Technically touched the white line there, but we'll not worry too much about that. He comes out just ahead of Tilda. The track looks dry, but the drivers are still struggling. I'm guessing because temperatures aren't quite up. And Tilda, goes for the move, forces the Haas wide. And now is trying to make the pass. You have to get it done before the corner, and he does. Gurla has also pitted and gone on to... As Smelto gets 3 seconds, Gurla has also gone on to the softs. Figured they might as well. Maybe try and snatch fastest lap. Take 1 lap to get your tires up to pace. Get some temp into them. And then see where you go from there. But is this the moment? I mean, they always say your closest your rival is always your first rival is always your teammate. But is this a moment where Gurla says, "Right, mate, it's on"? Are we going to see an inter-Alpine battle after this?
I think in SLR, the individual championship is almost always more important than the constructors. Like once you settle it, you can have a bit of
no doubt. But like that's what I'm saying is like these two seem to be a match for each other. I mean, the deciding factor today was just a bit of luck on the timing and a bit of luck on the strategy. Had it been 1 lap later or 1 lap earlier, what might have been?
Ooh, Joel is sideways. Joel is out the track.
I see him there. He's just gone wide.
He's struggling to get back on the track.
I think Joel... Isn't this Joel's final lap now because he's been lapped? Joel will cross the line. I think that's him done. He's going around again, apparently. I thought they were done because I thought they were lapped. But anyway, let's see if Gurla can get fastest lap of the race here. Oh, well no they won't, not with that. So, who has our fastest lap at the minute? It's Crawley voice at the minute on the inters, so the softs never actually really came. And to be fair, I never saw an indicator saying the DRS was active. But the track looks bone dry. Oh, no, I take it back. Magnetic with the fastest lap of the race.
Yep.
On the softs, but he won't get a point for that because he's out of the top 10. So unless someone else is able to do something about it. And Gurla, I mean, started to close the gap a little bit, but just not enough laps.
Yeah, no way.
Hindsight will say Gurla should have pitted, but then they'll say, well, I didn't have the pace to match Naiku, so they had to take the gamble. It didn't pay off, but it did pay off for Naiku, who crosses the line to win the Hungarian Grand Prix, having lapped everyone up to P7, which is kind of insane when you think about it. So Snaxalol officially confirmed 8th because he got lapped. Gurla in the second Alpine as AR Gamer crosses the line with the fastest lap and will take a point for that. No, wait, Gurla will take it. Gurla does get the point for fastest lap despite the mistake. They take second. Crawley Voice is third. Verch will come round in fourth with half a car, basically. Ooh, Wesley and Ocean Chief barging his way across the line. Verch gets fourth. That's Futuristic 2 laps down in 17th. John Wick, this is still not over yet. I mean, Smelto has a penalty, but he'd love to be ahead on track. John Wick and Smelto, who have been battling all race, will come round the final corner. And it's going to be... Smelto sounds like a better villain name, to be honest. John Wick will take 5th place. Very well done. Smelto is 6th. And we're just waiting on Larson, who snatches the fastest lap point away from Gurla. And all we're waiting on now is Tilda to cross the line in P7. But maybe not as frantic with the overtakes as Australia was last week, but an intriguing race in tricky conditions nonetheless. And it's Naiku who wins 2 on the trot.
Yeah, we do have Eversnux already waiting in an interview section to come.
Well, tell you can wait a minute. He can put the animals back in their pen. We're staying in the comm box for a little bit. So do we need to screenshot results or?
Ik heb hem weggeladen.
No.
It's okay, we can look at them back on the stream. But there are your final positions. Naiku winning for the 2nd time this season. Gurla 2nd, Crawley Voice 3rd, Verch 4th, John Wick 5th, Smelto 6th, Tilda 7th, Eversnaxville 8th, AR Gamer 9th, and Joel in 10th. Your other finishers, Wesley, Ocean Chief, Antabulous, Magnetic, Veertz, or however you say it, Larson, Futuristic. Your non-classified finishers, Lepson, Inferno, and Crystals.
Nee.
So there you go. Oh, back to... Oh, sorry, that's the wrong thing. Why is it doing that? Sorry. Why is it doing this to me? No, stop. Be gone, driver video. I don't want you to do that. Strange. I was hoping to go back to the race studio there, but for some reason it's automatically playing the video again. So we'll play on the intermission screen for now until we get sorted. So, what time is it there? I've still got time. Yeah, I do have time for interviews because my other league is doing a social race, which I will probably take part in. Got like half an hour. Let me just exit the game here, and we will see who's waiting in the interview room, and we'll go to the interview section. There we go. Okay, so there's the interviews tab there. Who's messaged me here? Oh, that was the stream code. Right. Do we drag them up here, or do we go to the interviews room?
Yeah, we drag them. We
drag them up. Well, who have we got in there? Brother Joel. Who's Brother Joel?
Joel.
Well, let's see. Gurla in there. Eversnacks, I recognize that. And Night Cow. Who's Night Cow?
Read that but fast.
Oh, what? Oh, Night Cow. Look, it's been a long day. Sue me. Right, well, I guess we'll go through in order. We'll bring in Nikau first of all. Move to commentator's booth. Here we go.
Oh, hello.
Nikau, congratulations.
Hello. Thank you.
2 on the trot. So, talk us through the race first of all, because it was very chaotic. But you look like you were just having a bit of a Sunday drive. Talk us through
No,
things from your
I
perspective.
didn't have a Sunday drive. My wrist hurts very much because in the wet I'm just shaking the wheel back to right. I'm trying to hold the car without crashing into the wall, so it was very hard, even though it didn't look like it maybe because I won by so much. But yeah, it was the qualifying. I'm a bit underwhelming because I could have gotten a much better time, but I changed my setup because it was wet. But yeah, the race start was interesting because right away virtual safety car and everyone gets penalties, but then after that it was just driving.
We're still not sure what happened at the start. Don't know why we had a virtual safety car like straight after lights out. Never really seen one like that before. What about your battle with your teammate? I mean, had you calculated that you were going to catch up, or was this just sort of a wing and a prayer?
I was pretty confident that I was gonna overtake him. So I just tried not to crash and just drive normally until the end.
And looking further ahead, so 2 on the trot, do you think you can make it 3?
Depends what track and if I don't crash out.
I mean, no, there doesn't seem to be much sign of you. I'm not going to jinx it, but you know, you've done very well so far. So
I know, but I am very. So next is Belgium. Not my favorite. So we will see. We will see.
But yeah, anything to add there, Punk?
No. Let's keep moving on. We got a long.
Right.
line
Well,
of
well,
fights
whoa.
waiting.
At least show him the door before you kick him out of the compost.
You
Right.
know,
But congratulations again there, Nikau, and
Thank you.
we'll see you in Belgium. And congratulations once again.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, let's get Gerla in here. Gerla.
Hello.
Congratulations and commiserations, because I mean you must be a little bit gutted, because leading the race for so long, and I'm sure it was probably nightmarish just watching that gap slowly come down, and then with only a couple laps to go you suddenly see your teammate in the rear view there. I mean, we were quite surprised that you did a 0 pit stop. Talk us through your mindset there. What prompted that strategic call?
Yeah, so the call that I made was because on the radar I saw like 2 squares of dry at the end of the race. So I thought, okay, so I'm just gonna go inters until the end. And yeah, that was basically just a call, and Nico chose to pit a second time. Yeah, no, he just pitted once for inters. And yeah, if the rain had stopped like 5 laps earlier, I probably would have won this race. But yeah, I was just as I saw like the gap coming down, I was like praying for the rain to stop as soon as possible. But yeah, when I saw him like right behind me, it was too late, and then I pitted as soon as the rain stopped to try and get still P2.
I mean, you still had P2. You did briefly hold fastest lap, but it was unfortunately taken from you. I think it was by Magnetic in the end. Unfortunately.
I was pushing a lot, but I also made a mistake. I was maybe thought that I could still get Nico with a 20-second gap, but so I was pushing a lot, so I did some mistakes. I could have gotten fastest lap, but yeah, it's not that big a deal, and yeah. I mean, I chose this strategy. Turned out not to be the winning strategy, but it happens, and I qualified P2 and finished P2, so I'm still happy.
I was going to say, still a promising result for you, though. So, and obviously big points for the team. Do you think you can take the fight to Nikau in future races, or what's your outlook for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Let me have a quick look at the calendar. Yeah, I think so. Like I said, it was just a matter of strategy that I didn't win this race. I think like if it's well, if it never if it was like rain for the whole race, I would have pitted obviously, and I think I could have won. And also if the rain had stopped, I also could have won. So I think I can give a good fight and maybe let's say win a couple of races this season. I don't know if I can fight for the championship. That would be hard, but yeah, I would like to believe that I could win a couple of races this season.
Well, we'll not say, never say never. I mean, it's early days, only the second round, but the second place, certainly bodes well. But next track is Belgium. What are you thinking for Belgium? A track you enjoy, or?
Yeah, I enjoy quite a lot. But yeah, I'm not sure. I guess we'll take it race by race.
Fair enough.
Well, let's see if I can have some time to practice as well. And yeah.
Well, you better get started. You've got another week to go, so come on, chop back in the simulator. But anyway, we'll not keep you any longer. Well done once again on your podium.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Alright, take care, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And then, waiting in the wings, we also have Crawley. Crawley Voice was third, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Crawley Voice was third, yeah?
Yes.
Yep, so we have the full podium. Let's get Crawley Voice in here. Crawley Voice.
Hello.
Name I didn't expect to see, I'll be honest. If you'll forgive me saying so, kind of anonymous throughout most of the race, and then all of a sudden, in the final few laps, suddenly we see you overtaking Vert for the podium, and now here you stand. So talk us through the whole race from your perspective.
It was quite annoying and
Annoying.
almost boring because I don't know, like the two guys in the front, like
The
flew away,
Alpines.
and yeah, and I was like, okay, now I'm racing no one, I cannot catch up, and then I made a mistake, and I had I think Smelto on my back, but yeah, it was basically a race to just survive
Mm-hmm.
and not make any mistakes. So yeah, I was trying to focus on that and not get any penalties because I saw Verts having one early on, and I was hoping for a late safety car or if a different strategy helped me out, reach him and overtake. Yeah, everything worked out. I was aiming for I don't know just points, so podium is very good.
So a bit of a surprise result for you.
Hello, Mr. Punk.
Hello.
Missed me?
Kind of.
Oh, sorry, is there some history between you two?
No.
This is the way he said missed me.
Oh yeah. He commentated some wild
Ah, right, okay.
races last season. He was out of breath, like some of them.
And I
right,
enjoyed
see.
every second of it.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly enjoyed every second of watching that race, that's for certain, because it was very entertaining. It may not have been entertaining for you to drive, but it was very entertaining for us to watch.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because I saw many incidents happening, and I was in a voice channel with many guys, and I was, listening to everything. But yeah, on my POV there was pretty much nothing. But yeah,
Wow.
it was quite, very quiet there.
Well, anyway, though, Belgium is next up. Your thoughts?
Nice track, a new track, I think.
What?
Optimized. I think it's, new laser scan or whatever.
Oh yes, sorry, yes, I see what you mean. I was
Okay.
about to say, my brother in Christ, like Belgium's been on there for decades.
Yeah,
No, but yes, no, they did. I believe they did. Yes, tweak it a bit. So interesting to
I
see.
don't know if I'm going to race because I'm a reserve. So if there is,
Well, hopefully, because you've shown it well so far. And
hopefully I
well, we
might.
do hope to see more of you anyway, Crawley, because you're a good addition to the grid. That's for certain.
Thank you very much.
But we'll let you crack on here. Well done on the podium once again.
Thank you guys.
Right, see ya.
Bye bye.
I was going to say we only have one left, but Futuristic has also jumped in there.
Oh boy.
We'll bring in Eversnacks, who finished P. What was it? P7, wasn't it?
No idea.
I know you're so exhausted you can't even remember. Eversnacks.
Hey there.
Oh gosh, that was loud. Well done on a hard-fought race for some good points.
Yeah.
Talk us through the race then, from your viewpoint.
Yeah, I think it was just a solid race overall. I think I said it in chat earlier. I have before the race, I think I had 6 hours in game total, and I had no practice at all. Well, I did some time trial in the dry, if that counts as actual practice. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. I love this track. I have to say, Hungary is such a beautiful track to drive. Very technical. And especially in the wet, it was a lot of fun. I think my race start was pretty solid. I was gaining some positions, made a good call to go for the wet tires, made another really good call for the inters, gained a lot of time there. Then at the end, I was fighting for a bit, was struggling to overtake people, and then as it dried up, I was like, I could try the dry tires. What am I going to lose? And then I lost the position. So that was kind of unnecessary. But overall, yeah, very very solid race. I'm kind of happy with that considering how little practice I had.
Good stuff. I mean, it was very changeable at the end there. I mean, it looked dry from our perspective, but evidently it wasn't.
Yeah, I was shocked actually. I went onto the softs, and they didn't feel good at all. I think the track might have been just a little wet still, and also way too dry, way too cold. So I couldn't get the temperature into the softs, and I was really struggling at the end there. Almost spun the car as well, even on the softs. So yeah, that was just the wrong choice there at the end. I could have probably stayed on the inters, but I was kind of scared of the tire temps, to be honest.
Or were they overheating?
Yeah. I think they were getting up to 90 at the time I pitted. I was thinking that I would probably spin if I stay out. So I was like, I'm losing that position behind me anyway, so I might as well go for some dry tires. But I didn't think they'd be that slow.
Well, it must have been on the border with getting changed to dries.
Yeah,
But
it's
just
really annoying as well. I got lapped at the very last corner. Nike went past me, so I didn't have a chance to overtake Tilda on the final lap. I was
no.
thinking, hey, I've got one more lap. I've got one more lap, and then I didn't.
So nope, no, you don't. Looking next week then, Belgium. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll actually have to skip. I'll actually have to skip a week. I won't be here.
Aw.
I'm not that sad. I mean, Belgium is fun to drive. It's a nice track for sure, but I tend to not do as well there. So I'm not that sad. I mean, as long as I don't miss Canada, I'm fine.
You like Canada?
Oh, I love Canada. Don't tell Ocean Chief I said this, but Canada is the best track by far.
I like Canada as well. I don't know why so many people dislike Canada.
Yeah, really nice track. I love driving chicanes as well. I think you can tell my track style a little. If I like Hungary, I love Canada. Those tracks with a lot of quick corners. I'm just really fond of.
Right. Well, we'll keep on moving along here. Well done on your finishing position again. Hard luck with the tire call, but we'll see you hopefully. If not next week, then the week after, hopefully.
All right, thank you, and thanks for
Have fun.
commentating, guys.
See ya. And I was going to call Futuristic in, but he's deafened in the chat, so I can only assume he's away doing something.
We can try to move it in because he's gonna get a Discord ping. Maybe that's gonna wake him up.
I mean, I guess, but I mean, he hasn't really got too much to say, to be honest. Aside from spinning for the entire last part of the race.
If he wants to say something, give him a shout. 3, 2, 1, you're out, buddy.
And
Nope, he's gone.
yep, there we go. Put him back
Okay.
down there. That's okay. Well, we'll call it there then. So, yeah. Thank you very much indeed, everyone, for tagging along with us. Apologies for all the technical difficulties, but we'll get everything smoothed out for next time. But overall, I think that was very successful. So, as it stands then, Naiku extends their championship lead. That'll be 50 points they're sitting on after this weekend. And really, their closest challengers from the previous round weren't able to rise to the challenge in the wet. So it's a bit more of a comfortable cushion for Naikau, but it's only been 2 rounds. Anything can happen. And we will see what happens next week in Belgium. We hope that you'll join us for that. But until then, I've been Lars, and he's been CM Punk. Say goodbye, Punk.
Bye.
Okay, good job. But yes, we will hopefully see you all next week for another thrilling week. For another thrilling race next week. Until then, have a very wonderful evening, and we will see you next time. Take care.